in both oral and written communications. You are so much encouraged to concentrate and persevere in doing the activities provided in this module. So, this is the module in English 9 entitled Conditionals. I am the author, and Sir Mark Mamolang is the illustrator. Through your exploration to this lesson, you are expected to, number 1, use the correct form of the verb to complete the conditional sentence. Number 2, identify the difference between and among present conditional, future conditional, and past conditional. Number 3, provide possible result to a given situation or possible condition to a given result. Number 4, organize a paragraph about life's preferences using conditionals. And number 5, identify the pros and cons of a given situation using conditionals. In our previous lessons, you have learned that conditional statements are sentences that have an if clause, which states a condition, and another clause that states what happens as a result of the condition. We have focused on the first type of it, which is the present conditionals, which has two kinds. The present real conditional, which is used to talk about what you normally do in real-life situations, and the present unreal conditional, which is used to talk about what you would generally do in an imaginary situation. Before going further, there are activities that you are going to explore that serve as your guide to understand our lesson, to have an overview of it. Letter A, you're going to read and analyze the following sets of sentences. We have the first set. If Sonia works hard, she will graduate with flying colors. I will be more physically fit if I exercise regularly. Second set of sentences. If we had come ahead of time, we would have saved the girl from the addicts. If she had been strict with her children, they would have learned to spend their time wisely. Now, after reading and analyzing these sets of sentences, you're going to answer questions. Number 1, what is the verb form used in the first set of sentences? Number 2, how about the second set of sentences? What form of the verb is used? Number 3, what is the verb form used in the first set of the sentences? And number 4, how about the second set of the sentences? What verb form is used? Now, if there is present form in the conditionals, there are also future and past forms. The future conditional is used to talk about what you will do in the future time. And the past conditional is used to talk about the past and imagine something different from what actually happened. This means for imaginary past actions where the condition for the action was not satisfied. There are examples for future conditional and past conditionals. Under future conditional, number 1, if I do good, I will succeed.
Hello everyone, I am Teacher Clarita Idio, but you can call me Teacher Claire. Well, I hope you're doing great and have prepared for yet another class. And so, The topic we're about to tackle is representing real-life situations using rational functions. As you go on with the module, you're expected to translate mathematical statements into symbols, represent real-life problems using rational functions, and formulate real-life problems using rational functions. Mathematical problems should be expressed into mathematical symbols before they can be solved. Let us refresh our minds first on expressing mathematical problems into mathematical symbols. The following will help illustrate the translation of words into mathematical symbols. For the first example, 3 less than twice a certain number represent two numbers in symbols. To represent the two numbers in symbols, we will let x be the first number. Then for the second number, we will use the first number. So, the other number would be 3x minus 10. For the second example, BM Magic invested 10,000 pesos, part at 5% and the remainder at 2%. Their total interest from both investment was 625 pesos. Okay, so we will let x be the amount invested at 5%. 10,000 minus x be the amount invested at 2%. 0.05x will be the interest in the amount of x. 0.02 times 10,000 minus x will be the interest at 2%. 0.05x plus 0.02 times 10,000 minus x is equal to 625 will serve as the total interest from both investments. Aside from expressing mathematical expressions to symbols, let us also have a recap on what polynomial function is. A polynomial function is an expression consisting of variables and coefficients that involves only the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and non-negative integer exponents of variables. The definition can be derived from the definition of a polynomial equation. A polynomial is generally represented as p of x. The highest power of the variable of p of x is known as its degree. Degree of a polynomial function is very important as it tells us about the behavior of the function p of x when x becomes very large. There are various types of polynomial functions based on the degree of the polynomial. The most common types are, the first one is we have the constant, or that is what we call the zero function. An example of this is we have 5 or any number. The degree of a constant function is 0. The second polynomial is we have the linear function with a degree of 1, or the exponent is 1. So an example of this is we have x plus 5, 3x plus 2, and so on. The third one is quadratic function. Quadratic function has a degree of 2. Example, we have 2x squared plus 5. For the fourth type of function is we have the cubic function with a degree of 3. So an example of this is we have 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5.
Hello everyone, I'm back. Your teacher in Math 8, Vilma. How are you? I hope you got 12 and above in your post-assessment in Module 1. Reminder, if you did not understand Module 1, go back to the activities and try to do it again. You can also text any of your math teacher for any question regarding the lessons. Today, you will be learning problems on factoring polynomials. You will be learning how to solve problems by using simple strategy and applying appropriate factoring pattern and techniques. You are encouraged to actively engage yourself in exploring the module. Read the topic discussions and answer and check the learning activities provided honestly. To our parents and guardians, please assist your child to facilitate understanding. This is the module in Math 8 entitled Problems on Factoring Polynomials. After the lesson, you are expected to understand the desired learning competency and to achieve the following learning objectives. 1. Translate word phrases into algebraic expressions. 2. Recognize the concepts involving factors of polynomial. 3. Solve problems involving factors of polynomials. Before moving any further, kindly answer and check your pre-test under what I know. If you got 15, then you are greatly encouraged to go through this module. If you got 14 and below, then you need to continue this module. You may also answer what's in to review factoring polynomials. Before discussing problems on factoring polynomials, you translate first each phrases or statements into an algebraic expression. 1. The sum of x and y is x plus y. 2. The product of x and y equals xy. Correct. 3. The difference of x and y is x minus y. 4. The sum of x and the difference of y and z is x plus the quantity y minus z. And number 5, x less than 11 equals x minus 11. More exercises are waiting for you in What's New of this module. How did you solve word problems in your lower grades? Are there any steps that you used? What are they? Your knowledge in translating English phrases into algebraic expression and in factoring polynomials will enable you to solve variety of word problems. The following steps may help you in organizing the solution to the problem. Steps in solving word problems. 1. Understand the problem. Under this, read the problem carefully. Identify what is given and what is asked. Represent one unknown number by a letter, then try to see how an expression or any other unknown variable can be represented in terms of that same letter. Number 2, write the equation. Under this, you need to translate the phrases into algebraic expression. Second, use the condition in the problem to write the equation. And number 3, solve the equation and state the answer. Number 4, check. Be sure to answer the question in the word problems. And check that your answer satisfies the conditions stated in the problem. Example 1. The square of a number equals 9 times that number. Find the number. Step 1. Understand the problem. Let x be the number. Step 2. Write the equation. Before we are going to write the equation, we need to write all the phrases given in the problem, like square of a number, that is x squared.
Hello mga bata! Ako ay si Ginang Jocelyn DEP-ED, ipagpatuloy natin ang aralin sa musika sa ikatlong baitang tungkol sa ritmo, lalo na sa panay na kumpas. Ito yung paulit-ulit na tunog o ostinato. Sana'y lagi tayong masaya sa paggawa ng gawain sa module habang tayo'y nasa loob ng tahanan. Palaging magtulungan ang mag-anak sa paggawa para tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral gamit ang module. Wow! Muli tayong aawit ng pinamagatang Brother John. Makinig ng mabuti. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Ito ang paksa natin ngayon tungkol sa ritmo, lalo na sa panay na daloy ng kumpas o pulso. Ito ang module na tungkol sa panay na kumpas. Kung titignan ninyo, may simbolo ng tunog. Ito ang mga nota. Sino ang gagawa ng tunog? Tao, tayo, ang mga mag-aaral, di ba? Kaya, sa module na ito, ating tunghayan kung paano ang panay na kumpas at inaasahang malinang ito sa inyo. Napapanatili ang panay na kumpas sa musika sa pag-chant, paglakad, pagtapik, pagpalakpak, at pagtugtog ng mga instrumentong pangmusika. Para masaya ang iyong pag-aaral, dapat na, una, basahin mabuti at unawain ang bawat direksyon o panuto bago gawin. Pangalawa, siguraduhin natapos lahat ang mga gawaing naitakda. Pangatlo, dapat ikaw talaga ang sasagot sa mga gawain at tayahin bago ka sumangguni sa susing pagwawasto na nasa huling bahagi ng module. Panoorin ninyo at ipapakita ko ang paulit-ulit na kumpas o ostinato na may paghinga gamit ang iba't ibang galaw. Sa kumpas na tigdadalawa, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yan ang puros nota. Kung may pahinga, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Sa kumpas na tigtatatlo, o by threes, tignan natin, gamitin ang paa. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Sa kumpas na tig-aapat, gawin natin 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sa pagtapik, gamit ang tigtatatlong pangkat, ito na. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Vice versa. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sa paggamit ng anumang bagay sa classroom, gamitin natin ito sa pangkat na tig-aapat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. O vice versa. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayan na. Sa ganon, pwede nang sagutin ang paunang pagsusulit. Pagkatapos, pakinggan muli ang awit sa unahan na Brother John at sagutin ang dalawang tanong tungkol dito. Ang kasunod ay echo-clapping. Ipapalakpak ko at uulitin ninyo. Ito ang pangkat ng twos.
Good day again. How are you? I am Irene Libunaw again, your teacher in MAPE Health 10. How are you? Were you able to enjoy the last lesson we talked regarding consumer health? The criteria and guidelines in the purchase of goods and services? I hope so. Let's have more. On this lesson, we are going to give emphasis on the different various forms of health service providers and healthcare plans, and for you to select health professionals, specialists, and healthcare services wisely. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to discuss the various forms of health services providers and healthcare plans. Another one, you are going to select health professionals, specialists, and healthcare services wisely. But before we go further, let's try to take a look at the different pictures. Would you be able to identify them? What health services these are? And who conducts it? Let's try. Good luck and enjoy. I know you can do it. It's as easy as eating fried chicken. If your answer is geriatrician, you're absolutely correct. If your answer is cardiologist, you are absolutely correct. Okay, let's proceed with the lesson. So there are different healthcare services offered in the country. So first one, we have their health professionals. So health professionals are individuals who are licensed to practice medicine and other allied health programs. An example of health professional is a physician, such as cardiologist, neurologist, and more. Anyway, as you further go with your module, you will be learning them one by one, and you would be able to identify their area of specialization.
It's science time! Hello there! I'm very excited to explore science with you. I'm Teacher Jennifer, and I will be your teacher for today. Let's learn while having fun. Before we start the lesson, you should have done the pre-test or what I know to determine the level of your knowledge about the classification of waste materials, which is our lesson in this module. Please be guided with the instructions in all the activities in this module. Are you ready to learn? Come on, let's find out about the different classifications of waste materials. So in this module, developed by Ma'am Connie Marie W. Salapio, we will learn to classify waste materials as biodegradable or non-biodegradable. We will also differentiate biodegradable and non-biodegradable wastes. And we will enumerate ways to dispose biodegradable and non-biodegradable wastes at home properly. As you go through this module, here are some reminders for you. First, read the lessons carefully. Second, be watchful of the instructions in the activities. Third, answer all the given tests and exercises. And fourth, familiarize yourself with these terms. Number 1, waste. A material that already served its primary use and can be discarded. Number 2, landfill. A dumping site where materials are covered with layers of soil. Number 3, biodegradable materials. They can be decomposed by bacteria or other living things. Number 4, non-biodegradable materials. They cannot be decomposed by bacteria or other living things and do not rot easily. And number 5, vermicomposting. This is the process by which worms are used to convert organic wastes into compost. In the previous lesson, you have learned that materials can be classified either useful or harmful. Useful materials serve a purpose and can be reused and recycled, while harmful materials can bring harm to our health, the environment, and other living organisms because they contain toxic substances. Now, let's see if you can recall some of these materials by answering the activity. Identify if the material in the box is harmful or useful. Shattered glass, fruit peelings, plastic bottles, expired medicines. If you answered shattered glass and expired medicine for harmful materials, and fruit peelings and plastic bottles for useful materials, you are correct. Let us try another activity. Try to find 10 waste materials from the box. So, the waste materials from the box are: number 1, bottles. Number 2, paper. Number 3, styrofoam. Number 4, glasses. Number 5, branches. Number 6, plastic cups. Number 7, candy wrapper. Number 8, leftover foods. Number 9, tin cans. And number 10, leaves. If you found all these words, you are definitely awesome. So, after recognizing useful and harmful materials, let's learn about the classifications of waste materials. Waste materials can be found everywhere if not discarded properly. They can be useful or harmful. Biodegradable materials can be dumped in compost pits, while non-biodegradable materials should be brought to junk shops or dumped to landfills. Here are some questions for you to answer to further understand the lesson. Number 1.
Good day to each and everyone. This is Elizabeth Silog, your teacher for today in Science Grade 10, Module 2 entitled Types of Plate Boundaries. The module focuses on the learning competency, which is to describe the different types of plate boundary. At the end of the module, you should have targeted the following objectives, which are: 1. Enumerate the different types of plate boundaries. 2. Describe each type of plate boundary according to its interactions direction. 3. Explain the importance of studying the types of plate boundaries. You go over the module page by page and read properly all the important terms and instructions given. Answer all the activities on a separate sheet of paper, which is your activity notebook. On your notebook, please write the page number of the module where the activity is written and copy the correct number of the questions that you are answering. In What I Know part, this is a pre-assessment of your knowledge about the lesson. Go over the questions, then write the letter of your answer on your notebook. There are 15 items. If you are finished answering, kindly check your score by going over the key answer part of the module before proceeding to the next pages. If you got 100% correct, you may skip the module. But if you got 50 to 99% score, then proceed with the module. In lower grade, you learn that volcanoes, earthquake, and mountain belts are geologic features found in our planet. These are geologic events that occur at a certain part of the planet. You have discussed more about earthquakes, their origins, effects, and the part of the country where this event occur. From the previous module, where are these geologic events mostly occurring? Yes, they mostly occur within the plate boundaries. There are different types of plate boundaries. This is the topic we are going to learn in this module. For the first activity, decode the word hidden in the boxes. A number stands for each letter. Use this secret code to find the words that describe the pictures. These are the terms that we will be learning in this module. Plate boundaries are the edges where two plates meet. Most geologic activities, including volcanoes, earthquakes, and mountain building, take place at the plate boundaries. The movement of the plates create three types of tectonic boundaries: convergent, where plates move into one another; divergent, where plates move apart; and transform, where plates move sideways in relation to each other. In a convergent plate boundary, the plates move toward one another, such as the one between the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. It forms towering mountain ranges like the Himalaya, as Earth's crust is crumpled and pushed upward. In some cases, however, a convergent plate boundary can result in one tectonic plate diving under another. This process, called subduction, involves an older, denser tectonic plate being forced deep into the planet underneath a younger, less dense tectonic plate. When this process occurs in the ocean trench can form. These trenches are some of the deepest places in the ocean, and they are often the sites of strong earthquakes. At a divergent plate boundary, the plates move apart from one another. A divergent plate boundary often forms a mountain chain known as a ridge. This feature forms as magma escape into the space between the spreading tectonic plates. One example of a ridge is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, an undersea chain of mountains that formed as two pairs of tectonic plates spread apart. The North American plate and the Eurasian plate in the north, and the South American plate and the African plate in the south are good examples. In transform boundary, the plates slide past each other in opposite directions or in the same direction but at different speeds.
Magandang araw! Ako si Teacher Jennifer, ang iyong guro sa edukasyon sa pagpapakatao grade 3. Ngayong araw ay gagabayan ko kayo sa ating aralin kasama ang inyong magulang o nakatatandang kapatid. Ating pag-aralan ang mga gawaing kaya ninyong gawin sa bahay o paaralan. Mayroong mga gawaing iniaatang sa bawat kasapi ng tahanan, maging sa batang tulad mo. Kabilang dito ang aksyong dapat isagawa sa loob ng iyong paaralan. Tignan mo ang module sa edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. Inaasahang malilinang mo ang sumusunod na kasanayan. Napapahalagahan ang kakayahan sa paggawa na may una, pagpapahalaga sa sarili o self-esteem. Pangalawa, pagtitiwala sa sarili o confidence. Handa ka na ba? Halika na! Samahan mo ako! Bago tayo magsimula sa ating aralin, nais ko muna kayong tanungin kung ano ang mga iniaatang na gawain na kaya ninyong gawin sa bahay. Kung ang sagot mo ay pagdidilig ng halaman, magaling! Ano pa? Paghuhugas ng pinggan, paglilinis ng sahig, pagpupunas ng mga kagamitan, ito rin ay tama. Ngayong araw, may babasahin tayong tula tungkol sa mga kayang gawin ng isang bata. Gusto mo ba akong sabayan sa pagbabasa? Ang pamagat ng ating tula ay kusa kong gagawin. Halika na, sabayan mo ako. Sa aming tahanan, may mga tungkulin na dapat gampanan sa kasaping butihin. Magaat mabigat, kusa kong gagawin. Tiwala at husay ay pananatilihin. Paglilinis ng bahay, pati ang bakuran. Paghuhugas ng pinggan, pagdidilig ng halaman. Pagpupunas ng alikabok, pagliligpit ng higaan. Kusang loob na gagawin na may kasiyahan. Nakasabay ka ba sa aking tula? Pagkatapos nating basahin ang tula, sagutin mo naman ang sumusunod na tanong. Handa ka na ba? Unang tanong. Ano ang mensahe ng binasa mong tula? Kung ang sagot mo ay, ang mga gawain sa bahay na kusang ginagawa. Ito ay tama. Pangalawang tanong. Ano ang nararamdaman mo matapos mong basahin ang tula? Kung ang sagot mo ay, naging masaya ka sa pagbabasa ng tula, magaling! Pangatlong tanong. Bukod sa mga nabanggit na gawain, ano-ano pang mga gawain ang kaya mong gawin? Kung ang sagot mo ay pagpapakain ng mga alagang hayop, tumutulong sa pagluluto, ito ay tama. Pang-apat na tanong. Paano mo maipapakita na pinahahalagahan mo ang mga gawaing ibinigay sa iyo? May tiwala at husay na ginagawa. At ang huling tanong, ipaliwanag ang iyong nararamdaman kapag ginagawa mo ang mga gawaing ibinibigay sa iyo. Kung ang sagot mo ay kusang loob mo na gagawin na may kasiyahan, magaling! Tulad ng bata sa nabasa natin sa tula, mayroong mga gawaing
Binabati kita. Ako si Ginoong Marvin B. Panaten ng La Trinidad National High School. Ako ang inyong gabay na guro sa module na ito. Handa ka na ba? Ang module na ito ay pinamagatang Heograpiyang Pantao. Ang module na ito ay naglalayong mapag-aralan ang natatanging kultura ng mga rehiyon, bansa at mamamayan sa daigdig. Ito ay kinakasasangkutan ng lahi, pangkat etniko, wika at relihiyon sa daigdig. Samantala, ito din ay isinulat at inihanda para sa pagpapatuloy sa pag-aaral sa kabila ng tinatawag nilang bagong panahong normal, dulot ng COVID-19 pandemic. Ang mga kakayahan ay maaaring maihatid sa pamagitan ng modular, nakalimbag o nakadigitize na mga materyales at naaangkop mula sa pag-aaral sa bahay. Nakaunti ang kinakailangang pangangasiwa mula sa mga magulang o nasa hustong gulang o kaya ay si kuya o si ate. Ito ay naglalayong mapahalagahan ang natatanging kultura ng mga rehiyon, bansa at mamamayan sa daigdig. Lahi, pangkat etniko, pangkat etnolinguistiko at relihiyon sa daigdig. Ang topikong ito ay hinati sa dalawa. Una, iba't ibang wika, lahi at pangkat etnolinguistiko ng daigdig at ang pangalawa ay relihiyon sa daigdig. Pasuyo, ihanda ang iyong sagutang papel. Ang unang module ay tumutungkol sa iba't ibang wika, lahi at pangkat etnolinguistiko sa daigdig na may layuning matalakay ang konsepto ng lahi, wika at pangkat etnolinguistiko sa buong daigdig. Nababalangkas ang mga iba't ibang lahi, wika at pangkat etnolinguistiko sa buong daigdig at napapahalagahan ang iba't ibang lahi, wika at pangkat etnolinguistiko sa paghubog sa mga natatanging kultura ng mga rehiyon, bansa at mamayan sa daigdig. Pakisuyo, buksan mo na ang iyong module. Paalala, kapag nasagutan ang paunang pagtataya, lahat ay 100% na nasagutan ng tama, maaari mo na ding hindi ipagpatuloy ang module na ito. At kung ikaw naman ay nakakuha ng 15% hanggang 99% na tama, mas magandang ipagpatuloy mo ang module na ito. Una, dito kabilang ang mga Filipino. A. Austro-Asiatic. B. Austronesian. C. Afro-Asiatic. Or D. Grupong Caucasian. Tama, B. Austronesian. Bago tayo magpatuloy, maalala mo pa ba? Ito ay tungkol sa heograpiyang pisikal ng daigdig. Punan ang bawat kahon tungkol sa heograpiyang pisikal ng daigdig. Halimbawa, pinakamahabang hanay ng bundok sa buong mundo. Magaling! Ito ay ang bundok Himalaya. At sagutin ang mga iba pang katanungan. Dumako tayo sa larawan na isang comic strip. Saan hango ang comic strip na ito? Sa inyong palagay, bakit nagkaroon ng maraming wika? Ito rin kaya ang dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon ng maraming pangkat. Etnolinguistiko sa iba't ibang bahagi ng daigdig. Bakit? Ano ang ibig sabihin ng pangkat etnolinguistiko? Magaling! Sakto ang iyong sagot. Atin namang bigyang pansin ang tinatawag nating pangkat etnolinguistiko, wika, dalawang kategorya sa wika, at etnisidad. Pangkat etnolinguistiko. Tumutukoy ito sa pangkat ng mga tao sa isang bansa na may magkakapariho ang kultura, wika, at paniniwala. Ang isang bansa ay kadalasang binubuo ng iba't ibang pangkat etnolinguistiko. Mga batayan sa paghahati ng pangkat etnolinguistiko ay wika, kultura, o sistema ng pamumuhay, relihiyon, gawin.
Hello everyone, this is Teacher Jen. Today, we are going to read the story between the heartwarming friendship between a bird and a girl named Piit. The Bird, written by Mildred L. Julian, illustrated by Jobel E. Gapit. Piit heard a soft chirp from a bird. She went to look where it was. Oh, the bird's foot is bleeding. Someone must have hit it with a slingshot, said Piit. Piit went near the bird. It did not fly. It just tried to walk away, limping, but it did not go far. Chirp, 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 chirped the bird very softly, as if asking for help. Oh, what happened to your foot? Don't worry, I'll help you. Piit whispered. She held the bird with care and then went to get herbal leaves. She pounded the herbs and placed at the bird's wounded foot. I'll bring you home. I will help you get well, she said. She brought the bird home. She placed it in a safe and comfortable place. She gave foods. She gave proper care to the bird. One morning, the bird was happy. Its foot was healed. It kept tapping at Piit's hand. Piit was also so happy playing with it. One morning, after a few more days, the bird was very well. It can already hop and fly. It flew to the window, it flew to the roof, it flew far until it can no longer be seen. After
Magandang buhay! Ako si Teacher Vinda, ang iyong guro sa Araling Panlipunan 6. Sa linggong ito ang iyong module at pag-aaralan mo ang tungkol sa pag-usbong ng liberal na ideya sa pagbuo ng kamalayang nasyonalismo. Ngunit bago natin simulan ang ating aralin, hawakan mo muna ang iyong module. Makikita mo sa iyong module sa bahaging subukin na may 10 tanong na susubok sa iyong kaalaman tungkol sa bagong aralin. Sagutin mo muna ito ng may katapatan. Tapos na ba? Ngayon, handa ka na bang makinig? Salamat naman kung ganon. Pansinin mo ang larawan. Ano ang nakikita o napapansin mo sa larawang iyan? Tama, yan ang mga Pilipino na nakikipaglaban. Napag-aralan mo sa ika-5 baitang kung paano nakipaglaban ang ating mga ninuno sa mga pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol. Bakit kaya sila nakipaglaban? Tama, nakipaglaban sila dahil gusto nilang maging malaya at malaman nila ang kalagayan ng pagkakaroon ng nasyonalismo o pagmamahal sa bayan. Ano naman ngayon ang nasyonalismo? Paano nga ba ito nagsimula? Sa semantic web na iyan, isulat ang mga salitang naisip mo kaugnay sa salitang nasyonalismo. Ito ang iyong magiging gabay para sa ating aralin. Saan nga ba nag-ugat ang nasyonalismo sa mga Pilipino? Tunghayan natin sa aralin natin ngayon. Ang pag-usbong ng liberal na ideya. Paano nagkaroon ng liberal na ideya ang mga Pilipino? Tignan natin. Sa simula pa lamang ng panunakop ng Espanya sa ating mga lupain, may mga pangkat ng ating mga ninuno ang nakipaglaban at tumutol. Sa loob ng mahigit 300 taong pananakop ng Espanya, mahigit 100 taong pag-aalsa at pakikipaglaban ang kanilang ginawa. May mga pangyayari din sa iba't ibang bahagi ng mundo na gumising sa pagmamahal sa bayan o sa pagiging nasyonalismo ng mga Pilipino. Tunghayan natin ang mga pangyayaring ito. Ang una ay ang pagbubukas ng daungan ng bansa. Maraming mga daungan sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo ang nagbukas. Ngunit ang tumatak sa mga Pilipino ay ang Suez Canal. Gaano nga ba kahalaga ang Suez Canal? Ang Suez Canal na isang artipisyal na daluyan ng tubig na nagdurugtong ng Mediterranean Sea at Red Sea. Naging mahalaga ang pagbubukas ng Suez Canal dahil napabilis ang paglabas-masok ng mga ngalakal at kalakal dito sa ating bansa. Bumilis din ang pasok ng mga kaisipang liberal tulad ng kalayaan, pagkakapantay-pantay at kapayapaan. Ano nga ba ang kaisipang liberal na ito? Ito ang kaisipang gumising at nagpamulat sa isipan ng mga Pilipino tungkol sa pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol at ang pagnanais na maging malayang bansa. So yan ang pag-usbong ng kaisipang liberal sa ating bansa. Ngayon, paano nagkaroon ng liberal na ideya ang mga Pilipino? Tama, nagkaroon ng liberal na ideya ang mga Pilipino dahil sa mga daungan na nagbukas, na naging daan sa pagpasok ng mga liberal na kaisipan mula sa Europa. Ano ang epekto ng pag-usbong ng kaisipang liberal? Magaling. Namulat ang mga Pilipino sa pang-aabuso ng mga Espanyol. Sunod, ang ikalawa ay ang pag-usbong ng mga mistiso. Ngunit bago natin tignan ang pag-usbong ng mga mistiso or kung sino man ang mga mistisong ito,
Hello everyone, it's Teacher Jen. Today we will be reading a story about Susan the Orphan, written by Roosevelt C. Satur, illustrated by Jobel E. Gapit. Susan woke up early. She wore her only set of clothes for school. They are old and worn out, but she didn't care. She placed her only notebook in her tattered bag. She got her baon and sang on her way to school. She was the first to arrive, though she lives far from their school. She started sweeping the floor without being told. "Ma'am, may I help you?" Susan asked as she hurriedly ran to meet her teacher. "Thank you, Susan." Miss Valentin smiled lovingly at her. "You are a helpful child, Susan. Please carry my books then," replied her teacher. Susan carried gladly her teacher's books and placed them on the teacher's table. She picked the broom and continued to sweep the floor. When her classmates saw what she is doing, each of them got a broom and helped her clean the room. "Susan, look, your classmates are also cleaning our classroom. I am happy that you can be a good example to them." Susan is loved by her teacher because she is a responsible girl. She always helps her teacher. Miss Valentin uses Susan as model to encourage Susan's classmates. "Look at how short Susan's pencil is, but she still writes," says their teacher, who tries to inspire her lazy classmates. She is always attentive and active in her class. Her works are neat and attractive. She makes sure she did a perfect job. Despite the 5 kilometers distance from home to school, it was never the reason for her to get absent nor to be late. Until one day, Susan's chair was empty. "Ma'am, Susan might be sick. She will not get absent if she is feeling well," the class told her. Miss Valentin was bothered. She thought that her pupils might be correct. Susan had been punctual and never missed her classes before. The following day, still, Susan is not there to greet Miss Valentin and to carry her books. There was nobody to sweep the floor in the morning. "Who will go with me to Susan's place?" asked Miss Valentin. "We want to see Susan too," replied all her classmates. "Susan, Susan, are you there?" shouted Miss Valentin as they finally arrived at Susan's place. There was no answer. They went nearer. "Susan! Susan!" They shouted louder. "Please come in," answered a faint voice. Miss Valentin and her pupils hurriedly entered a small house that has no door. "Susan, are you sick? Did you eat?" asked Miss Valentin. "Yes, I had a headache, but I feel better today, ma'am," answered Susan. "Why are you alone? Where are your parents?" asked Miss Valentin. "Ma'am, my Lola Anna went to the farm. Our house was destroyed by a landslide. Both my parents and my sister died. I and my Lola are the only ones left," answered Susan. Miss Valentin hugged Susan tightly as she wiped her tears. She did not want Susan to see her crying. All of her classmates hugged Susan too. "Get well, Susan. We missed you," her classmates told her. "I am sorry, Susan, but don't worry. Everything will be all right. You will no longer be alone with your Lola," assured Miss Valentin. "I like you to come and live with me, you and your Lola," said Miss Valentin. Let us answer the following questions. Number 1. Who is Susan's teacher? You're right. Susan's teacher is Miss Valentin. Number 2. Describe Susan as a pupil and a classmate. Very good. Susan is a responsible pupil and a role model to her classmates. Number 3. If you were Susan, how would you feel wearing old worn clothes? Yes, some of you might feel ashamed, but others will feel okay with it.
Bago tayo magsimula, huwag nating kalimutang magpasalamat sa Panginoon at humingi ng kanyang gabay at protection sa sitwasyong ating kinakaharap. Magandang umaga, kapatid, kapuso at kapamilya. Ako si Ginoong DEP-ED ang iyong guro sa Araling Panlipunan 9, Economics Junior High. Handa ka na bang makinig? Salamat naman kung ganon. Bago natin simulan ang aralin, makikita mo sa iyong module sa bahaging subukin na may 15 tanong na susubok sa iyong kalaman tungkol sa bagong aralin. Sagutin mo ito sa sagutang papel ng may katapatan. Kapag natapos, ay iwasto ang iyong sagot at isang guni sa susing sagot na nasa huling pahina. Bago tayo magsimula, atin munang tuklasin ang mga naihandang gawain upang mabigyan ka ng pangunahing kalaman ukol sa aralin. Handa ka na ba? Kung handa ka na, ating suriin ang larawang may papakita sa screen. Ikaw ay naliligo nang biglang mangyari ng sabay-sabay ang mga sumusunod. Ano ang iyong uunahin? Lagyan ng bilang 1 ang una hanggang 4 ang pinakahuli. Unang sitwasyon, biglang umulan at nakasampay sa likod bahay ang mga damit na iyong nilabhan. Pangalawa, naamoy mo na nasusunog ang sinaing. Pangatlo, narinig mo na tumutunog ang iyong cellphone, may naantay kang mahalagang tawag. Pang-apat, iyak ng iyak ang iyong nakakabatang kapatid. Kung ito yung mga sitwasyon, ano kaya ang iyong uunahin? Sandaling isipin. Nailagay ka na ba sa sitwasyong katulad ng nasa larawan? Maaari mo bang gawin ang mga sumusunod ng sabay-sabay? Ano ang batayan mo sa iyong pagpili sa kung anong gawain ang uunahin? Paano ka gumawa ng desisyon kapag nasa gitna ka ng maraming sitwasyon at kailangan mong pumili? Araw-araw, ang tao ay laging nahaharap sa sitwasyong kailangan niyang pumili. Pinipili ng tao ang bagay na nagdudulot ng labis na kapakinabangan. Ang mabuting pasya ay magdudulot sa iyo ng kasiyahan o sa Ingles ay satisfaction. Samantala, ang hindi mabuting pasya ay nagdudulot sa iyo ng dusa o sa Ingles, suffering. Ngayon, ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng economics? May ideya ka na ba? Ang salitang economics ay nagmula sa salitang Grego na oikonomia, na mula sa oikos, bahay o sambahayan, at nomos, kostumbre, batas o pamamahala. Atin pang mas palalawigin ang ating kalaman sa kahulugan ng economics gamit ang mga larawang may papakita. Simulan natin. Ano ang pumapasok sa iyong isipan sa larawang ito? Tama, ang bata ay nag-aaral. Ito naman. Tama, infinite or infinity, walang katapusan. Ito naman. Tama, mga kagustuhan at pangangailangan ng tao. At panghuli, tama, pinagkukunang yaman. Gamit ang mga larawan, may nabuo ka na bang ideya tungkol sa mas makabuluhang kahulugan ng economics? Tama, ang economics ay ang pag-aaral kung paano tutugunan ang walang katapusang kagustuhan at pangangailangan ng mga tao sa pinakamahusay na paggamit sa limitadong pinagkukunang yaman. Naunawaan na ba ang ibig sabihin ng economics? Mahusay. Ngayon, dadako naman tayo sa dalawang uri o dibisyon ng economics. Ang economics ay may dalawang dibisyon. Ito ay ang microeconomics at macroeconomics. Ating titingnan ang kaibahan ng dalawa gamit ang mga grapikong pantulong. Ang microeconomics ay pag-aaral sa maliit na unit ng economics. Samantala, ang macroeconomics ay ang pag-aaral sa kabuuang ekonomiya ng bansa. Ipagpatuloy natin. Ang microeconomics, ang produksyon, ang tinitingnan ay ang produksyon ng bawat industriya. Samantalang sa macroeconomics, ang tinitingnan ay ang
RPN Radio Philippines Network, Radyo Ronda, DZBS Baguio, Member, kapisanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation o AICS ng DSWD. Ano ang dapat mong malaman?
Sino-sino ang mga makakatanggap ng tulong pinansyal?
Prioridad na mabigyang tulong ang mga mula sa